Pastor Roberts, I found out there was a good leader and there were some bad leaders. Now it's time for someone to stand up in the community. Well, let me call on some people that were some good leaders. There was a man called Reverend Dykes that used to go down and get them boys out of jail. Am I right about it? Can I get an amen? There was a Pastor James. Did you hear what I said? There was a Pastor Walker. There was a Pastor Rector. You know what I'm saying? These fellows would go in the community and go get that young man and try to make him somebody. We as pastors and ministers need to stand up to the plate because we can affect these young men. God has placed you in a strategically place to tell them about where you're at and to change them from where they're at. Are you with me? Yeah. But with his stripes we are healed. I'm going to tell you something, fellas. I was a drug dealer. I was on drugs, did cocaine, did weed, did everything. But God got me still here. So this is why I can say I can relate to the gang members because they think that cheese or that cheddar is all about the butter or the money thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to sit up there and tell them about what they've been through. When you witness, you want to be an eyewitness. You need to tell them what you've been through so they can relate to you and you can tell, I got out of it. God made a way, but through his stripes we are healed. Through his stripes we are healed. Amen. And there's a lot of confusion with gangs, colors, and my spot, my color, my hood. Well, let me put it that way. You came here with nothing, and you're going to leave here with nothing. How you going to call something yours, and you're not paying any taxes? Amen. Quit fighting over the colors and money or the women or your hoopty or your gang people. 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And as in all churches of the saints, I thought we restore this with the fruit of the Spirit. You know the fruits of those other spirits when you go up in the Galatians and deal with 19 about all that fornication, this and that, lasciviousness, this and that, or whatever. But I'm talking about the fruits of the Spirit of being able to restore someone. And that's what we need to do. You know, the bad stuff is in 19, but the fruit, you need to check your fruit on your tree. It needs to change to love. It needs to change to joy. It needs to change to peace. It needs to change to long-suffering. It needs to change to gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. You don't have to worry about the police, if you're doing right now. Have to worry about looking behind your back and all this other stuff. But when you start doing right, you're not under the law anymore. Am I right about it? Amen. So if you're living right, you shouldn't have to look over your shoulder. We find out Ephesians 5 and 13 and 8 says some things in there, but we're moving on because we just have a short minute right quick. We want the bell to ring on us. Amen. But the main thing we're talking about, Matthew 5 and 9, your attitude brings gratitude. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall see God. Gang members, I'm talking about peace today. And you need to have peace in the land. We have to have our children to grow up. You got to have your children to grow up. It's time to put your weapons down. It's time to quit thinking you the big G. Because the big G that I serve is God and his son Jesus Christ. It's some little gods in there in Psalms, but I'm talking about the big G. And when you start getting hooked up, when you start getting connected, when you start having the fruits of the Spirit, God will make a way for you. Amen. I have a poem here by Maya Angelou talking about haters. A hater is someone who is jealous and envious and spend all their time trying to make you look small so they can look tall. They are very negative people to say that at least nothing is ever good enough. And when you make your mark, you always attract some haters. That's why when you have to be careful with whom you share your blessings and your dreams with. Because some folks can't handle seeing you blessed. It's dangerous to be like somebody else. If God wanted you to be like somebody else, he would have given you what he gave them, right? You never know what people have gone through to get what they have. The problem I have with haters is that they see my glory, but they don't know my story. Can I get a witness, sir? If the grass looked green on the other side of the fence, you can rest assured that the water bill is higher there too. We've all got some haters in here. You know, some people envy you because you have a relationship with God. Light up a room when you walk in. Start your own business. Tell a man or woman and hit the curb. And if she ain't about the right thing, you're a strong person and you don't let people run over you. You have a strong and loving marriage and they can't get in between spouses and spoil it. Haters can't stand to see you happy. And what I'm worried about, and I work in the school, and I'm a substitute teacher, that we got some haters up in there. They think they're running something. Haters will never want to see you succeed. Most of our haters are people who are supposed to be on our side, like some family and friends. How do you handle your undercover haters? You can handle these haters by knowing who you are and who your true friends are, and that's very important in life. Having a purpose to your life. Purpose does not mean having a job. You can have a job and still be unfulfilled. A purpose is having a clear sense of what God has called you to be. Your purpose is not defined by what others think about you, but by remembering that what you have is by divine prerogative and not human manipulation. Fulfill your dreams. You only have one life to live. And when it's your time to leave the earth, you want to be able to say, I've lived my life and I've fulfilled my dreams. Now I'm ready to go home. And when God gives you favor, you can tell your haters, don't look at me, look at who's in charge. And that's what it's all about when you're hating on somebody. And as I look at here, we move on to tell you that I've talked about some people. I got some more people that I want to say that have been killed senselessly. Rashawn Slack killed Lynn upstairs in the bed. The gang members went up there to shoot him, but they ended up shooting her. She's gone. You know what I'm saying? Irvin Whipple just come out of prison. One of my members in the church, daughter got shot by a boyfriend in the face. Now, how can they help that brother just come out of jail? You know he wanted to put some hurt on her, but he had to step away. Killed his baby daughter. Amen. Amen. And then we have the girl that I'm working over at a school now in Global Middle School. Pauline, 16, just had a funeral out there on Highway 16. Way out there by Zion Army. Ex-boyfriend's brother shot her because she was dealing with another man and had a baby. She had a baby by. What is this senseless killing doing? What are we doing with our children? We need to step up. There was a time when you were doing wrong and a child did wrong, spell the law, you spoil the child. But I'll stop out to tell you, when you go over there and do wrong or kings, they said when a child was disobedient, they would stone him.